Welcome back to the series on becoming a voice of influence and impact in the 21st century in the digital age. There's a huge opportunity that we talked about in last episode, along with the why and the fruit. So if you haven't watched that, go check it out. But in this episode, we're going to be talking about how to actually come up with your ideas that are going to impact your audience and how to execute upon those ideas, because ideas are nothing without execution. Again, we're gonna be covering 3 bullet points: knowing what you want, creating your content strategy, and then creating your first video. So let's hop into knowing what you want. The first rule of any sort of endeavor that you embark upon is you have to know exactly what you want, what impact you wanna make. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart." I believe that's made to mean that he will give you your heart new desires. So as long as you're delighting yourself in the Lord and seeking him in this, I believe that what you want is also what the Lord wants. So go for it. If you're interested in woodworking, if you're interested in cars, if you're interested in just fun challenges and videos, if you're interested in venture, that's where you're gonna be deciding what is my channel gonna actually be about and what goals do I wanna hit in order to really maximize the impact and the effort that I'm putting in. Because if we don't have goals and an action plan that we can even measure, then we're kind of just gonna be flailing around, not knowing exactly what we're gonna do. We can't measure our past actions or learn from our mistakes. So in order to know what you want, we have to set some goals around what we want. So I like to use the SMART goal method. What it stands for is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And this could possibly be the most important part of this entire series, because this not only applies to YouTube, but this applies to your entire life. This could apply to your spirituality, your fitness, your marriage, literally any area of your life. If you know how to set goals well and make an action plan, I believe that's good stewardship. I believe that's taking your talents and multiplying them like God wants us to do. And it's one of the most exciting things about this entire series. So an unsmart goal, or what I like to call a dumb goal, would be I want to post more videos. Or in another way, maybe you want to read more books. You say, I want to read more books. Now, if I want to post more videos, that's a pretty vague goal. How many videos do you want to post? How many videos do you want to post in what amount of time? What type of videos do you want to post? But if I took that goal and placed it into the SMART goal format, it would come out as I want to post 52 videos within 1 year, which is a video every week, in the entertainment challenge niche. So that's where I'm based out of. Another way, say you did woodworking, you're in the woodworking niche. Say it's January 1st, then you would say, I will post 52 videos by December 31st, 2024, with an average of 10,000 views per video. That would be a much smarter, measurable goal. So it hits all the points. It's very specific. It's measurable. How many videos do I want to post in what amount of time? That means I'd have to post weekly. I can measure that by saying, well, did I post this week? No, I didn't. Then I'm not reaching the goal. Did I? I did. I'm reaching the goal. Attainable. Is that attainable with the current resources and time commitment that you have? That's a great question to ask. You don't want to set a goal that's completely out of your reach. I believe it's very good to set goals that stretch you, that are I believe in 80% impossible goals that you believe aren't fully in your reach, but will stretch you a considerable amount to hit. But you do want to make sure that it is in the realm of possibility. So for instance, I wouldn't say I want to make a video on Mars, because I don't think I'd be coming back from that. I mean, it's an attainable goal, but not for me specifically. And that leads us to the next one, which is relevant. Is this goal relevant to what you want to accomplish in your life? Going to Mars wouldn't necessarily be relevant for me, so you need to figure out what is relevant for you. For instance, buying a Lamborghini might not be super relevant for me, but maybe buying a rental property would be relevant, so I can set a financial goal to do so. And then lastly, what I believe is one of the most important is time bound. If you set a goal but don't set a due date for it, you're just gonna be saying, oh, I'll get around to it, and then 10 years go by and nothing has changed. And I believe in bearing fruit in this life. I believe you believe the same. A time commitment, a due date, a time bound goal is very, very important in this journey, in both your YouTube journey as you're building your YouTube business, or in other aspects of your life whenever you're setting goals. Now that we've set a SMART goal based on what you specifically want, remember, this is for you and God and the desires that He has placed in your heart. You can get inspiration from other people, but don't feel the need to copy anyone. This is specific to you. You've set that goal. What I'd suggest is creating an action plan, which are pretty much mini goals within that goal for the steps that you need to take in order to accomplish it. If I need to make 52 videos, well then maybe one of my steps in my action plan would be to set the next 10 videos that I need to make in my calendar and get those planned and creatively locked, as we'd say in the writing space. So that's an example of an action plan. So you have your goal and you've what I'd suggest is you create an action plan. You've created an action plan. Keep it simple. Remember, complexity is the enemy of execution. So just keep it super simple. And now that you figured out what you want, you need to figure out how you're going to serve your audience with that, which leads us to point number 2, which is your content strategy. First of all, how do we create our channel? And how do we then make the content strategy for that channel? Now, there is a very, very specific and effective way to do this that I'm going to be sharing with you. This is between you and me. Keep it a secret because this is what I use to come up with my ideas and my content strategy. And to be honest, not a lot of people, even who have full-time careers on YouTube, know about this. And it is a pretty competitive space. So keep it between you and me. I'm sharing this in confidence. Essentially, if you don't know how to create a channel, there's great tutorials for that on YouTube. So just search on YouTube how to create a YouTube channel. They kind of want you to, so you might actually find that you already have a YouTube channel. But what I would suggest is creating a brand new email just for that YouTube channel and never ever using that email for anything else ever. Security by obscurity is the best way. And if you end up is the best way to stay secure. And if you end up turning this into a viable business, you do not want any people finding that email because people like hackers or anything else. If they find your email, they have an opportunity to take control of your channel and actually destroy what you've built. So what I'd suggest, just as a foundational thing, create a brand new email and never ever use it for anything, never ever show anyone it. Now that that's done, let's get into the actual super important stuff, which is content strategy. On YouTube, obviously, Jesus is king, but content is queen. So you want to make sure that you come up with a strategy that you can provide the most amount of value to your audience. A lot of people end up thinking if they don't get views that YouTube is against them, that YouTube's shadow banning them. It's not the case. YouTube, the way that they make money is through advertisers, and the way that they get advertisers is through serving their viewers well. So their entire goal is to put the best video possible for a specific viewer, whether that's a grandma interested in cooking or a young man interested in faith. They will put the best video for that person in front of them. What I'm going to be teaching you is how to find out what is currently working, what people are currently interested in your niche, and what your ideal viewer is stoked on, that you can provide them the best value possible. In creating your content strategy, remember that every single thing from YouTube to your channel is centered around serving the viewer. This is just like in business. When they say know your customer, you want to know your viewer because they are your customer. A lot of people talk about the algorithm and how, we need to serve the algorithm, we need to please the algorithm. In reality, the algorithm is the audience, and the algorithm is providing the audience the best content that they can receive. Now, how do you actually find out what's currently working? How do you find out what is the best content? I don't even know where to start, Matt. I'm a 30-year-old man who's interested in woodworking. I watch a couple guys on YouTube already, but I don't really know what to do. Or I'm interested in cooking. I never watch YouTube except for tutorials. How do I make this effective? The factual best way is by using YouTube's recommendation engine and leveraging it for you. How do we do that? Well, what you're going to do is you just created your YouTube account. You're going to create a brand new account. And what you're going to do is you're going to search for people who are only in your niche. So if you're in cooking, you're going to search and discover videos that are in the cooking niche, and you're going to start to watch those videos as if you are your own ideal viewer. So you're putting yourself empathetically in the shoes of your ideal viewer. You're treating your neighbor as yourself. You're literally watching these videos that are already performing well. So you want to find the videos that are performing well on the YouTube page that have millions of views, and you want to watch that video. Watch it all the way through, and then watch watch another one. This is going to take a little bit of time. So you want to block out about an hour of time for this and then do it consistently. I do this every single day. I watch an hour of YouTube, and it sounds like it's counterproductive, but I go on my Recon account, which is pretty much what I believe by assumption that my ideal viewer would want to watch, and I watch videos. I analyze the videos. I see, how did this video get 10 million views in a month? What did they do that worked? What do the comments say? And then I watch another one. And what YouTube then does is, because it's a recommendation-based engine and 80% of the views come from recommendation, it now suggests to me, as the ideal viewer, better videos to watch. And therefore, I can actually take those videos, see what's working, see what's trending, take those ideas and make it into my own for my content strategy. You're putting your feet in the shoes of the audience. It allows you to create for your audience and not just see YouTube as this algorithm, this lifeless algorithm, because in reality, every single view, every single hour that's being watched on YouTube is being watched by a real person. And this is how you figure out how to serve them best and most effectively, also for your business. What am I going to do when I find those videos that are performing really well? If I see a video that has 10 million views and it happened in a very short amount of time, or 1 million views on a channel with not a lot of subscribers, that tells me that there's traffic and momentum behind the video. I'm always looking for traffic and momentum on YouTube. If there's momentum behind a topic, it means that the audience and the popular culture is interested in it. Now, if you're wondering what traffic and momentum is, they go hand in hand. They're kind of the same thing. They run together. Traffic is essentially, if you think about a billboard being on the side of the road and a lot of people seeing that billboard, momentum just means that this topic is gaining momentum. So is it a successful billboard or is it not? That's kind of how the YouTube homepage works. It takes topics that that an audience is interested in, and if it sees that there's traffic around that topic, and the more people they send it out to, there's more traffic, then that's how you actually start to build momentum through traffic. So what I want you to do is, when you're creating your content strategy, I want you to think of a Venn diagram where you have your circle here, which is your interests, and then you have another crossover circle, which is your audience interests. Now, if you want to really skyrocket things, and this is why Recon Research helps, you add a third circle to that Venn diagram, and it says popular culture. And that's what's going to bring things in and catapult them to a new level. I can give you an example for my channel. I did Taekwondo for many years and gymnastics as well. And I was interested in that. My audience is also interested, but when I brought in the pop culture of Marvel and we replicated Hollywood movie stunts in real life, that's when things really took off, because it not only could connect with people who were interested in parkour, but it could also connect with people who maybe didn't even know how Hollywood stunts work or wasn't even interested in gymnastics or parkour. So that's why it's very, very important to bring in the popular culture aspect of what you're doing and what your audience is interested in, because then that brings in new viewers who you can continue to impact. Obviously, this isn't about getting more and more views necessarily at the core, but it is a key aspect of your business. And I believe the more impact that you can have, the better. And if you're doing this excellently, then YouTube will recommend your videos and you will get views. And this is just one way to do it. So now I've found the videos that are performing well and that have traffic and momentum behind them. Remember, lots of views in a short period of time, or lots of views on a smaller channel. That means traffic and momentum. And when you find those videos, you want to ask yourself, how can I take this idea and add to it? You don't want to be a voice that just copies. You want to take the current idea, make it better, make it your own, add your own twist to it. And the best way that you do that is through storytelling. Now you've taken that idea and you've made it your own, you've added to it, you've made it better. You've maybe even, if it's really similar, credited the other creator for allowing you to take the idea and enjoy making something. And that actually even builds community as well. Don't think that that's copying. Think of it as replicating and innovating upon. So you want to take what's working, replicate it, but don't do it exactly. Add your own twist to it. Provide value, add to the conversation. Don't just take from the conversation and make it a great video in your own way, because we're all fearfully and wonderfully made. We're all unique. We all have a unique voice to add to a topic, and it's not copying for you to jump in on the conversation. Now that we have that idea and you don't feel guilty about really doing what works and making it your own, I want you to now think about, how can I turn this idea into a repeatable series and system, what we would call in YouTube, a bucket. So for instance, on our channel, we replicate movie stunts in real life. I actually got that idea from a friend of mine in the space who made compilation videos of replicating stunts from Marvel, stunts from other movies. But what we did, my friends and I, is we took that idea and we turned it into a competition. We provided value in the space. We made a new format, and that format is repeatable. So I can say blank stunts in real life. Sonic stunts in real life, Iron Man stunts in real life, Spider-Man stunts in real life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jackie Chan stunts in real life. But if you're catching the drift, this is a repeatable video, both in your title, in your thumbnail style, and in your video style. And that takes so much of the creative energy. Instead of trying to come up with a new video every time and reinventing the wheel, it allows you to have a structure that already works, and then just to make that 100% better by throwing in different aspects that your audience would be interested in. So for instance, if I had a cooking channel and I want to appeal to the recommendation engine and not just the search engine, I want the viewer to get to know me and want to come back for me and not just because I taught them how to make a souffle, then maybe what I'd do is I would cook for sumo champion, or I would and then turn that into a series. I cooked for a sumo champion. I cooked for the Marines. I cooked for et cetera, if you're catching my drift. Once you can create this one bucket, you now have a repeatable video that you can test, try to make better. And if it works, then that is now an established bucket on your channel. It's an established series that your audience enjoys and that you can repeat. But if you just keep doing this bucket the same exact way every single episode and upload, then your audience could get tired. And that's why in our content strategy, we want to have 4 to 6 buckets, especially if you're uploading consistently. You want to be able to cycle through these buckets on a monthly basis. So if I were uploading weekly, I want to have 4 different buckets that I cycle through that my audience is interested in and that work. And then from there, I might have a 5th experimental bucket that I'm testing a new series, a new video format. And then I just repeat that process. So if I, again, were a cooking channel, I might cooked for blank, or maybe I tried the world's best 5-star restaurant in the cheapest city. Like that could be like a series. I tried the world's best 5-star restaurant in Japan, et cetera, and then I'm cycling through these buckets with each upload. This keeps things fresh, and then when you actually find an experimental bucket that works, then you look at what bucket is performing the least and you drop it. Because you want to give your audience a new experience, an awesome experience every time that they come back to your channel, a fresh experience. Because a lot of people on YouTube, again, they're just coming to watch YouTube. Some of them are coming to be educated. Some of them are coming to be entertained and kind of escape what's going on. And what you can provide for them is, again, ministry and sharing the word of God, not only through your words, but even through your actions. That's what our content strategy is for. It's really to serve the audience. And if we can create these cycles, these rhythms that we go through that do serve our audience, then not only will it be a fresh experience for them, but it will also be a much easier experience and lower lift experience for us in creating content that serves them well. So I know that was a lot to take in, but I believe in you. If you have to rewatch this video in order to fully grasp it and even take notes, I would encourage you to do so if you're really planning on taking this seriously. But make sure to check out the next episode where we're actually gonna learn how do we create our first video that might turn into a bucket, and then how do we analyze the performance of that video to multiply the growth of our channel.